Now, the studio is filled with the aroma of herbs. Tara Walker from East Coast Cookery School is making up the perfect belly warmer for a winter's night. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Simon.
You've got a winner here.
Yeah, so this is a lovely, you could call it a one-pot wonder or a winter warmer or whatever. A lovely chicken casserole, except I'm putting a few sort of lighter flavours in there just to give us a bit more depth of flavour, but also just not that really heavy sort of white sauce kind of thing.
Okay.
So in my casserole dish here, I've just browned off my chicken here, so it's obviously not cooked, it's just kind of caramelised on the outside. It's important to get, as we always talk about, that lovely sticky golden caramelisation, because that's where all the flavour is.
That's the goal.
Yeah, exactly. And what I've done is I've just made sure that I keep all the juices in the chicken, so you can see there's no juices kind of flowing out there.
Yep.
And then I've popped some bacon lardons in.
Lovely.
So just some streaky bacon that I've sliced up. Pop my onions in now to soften down, and I have a pinch of salt going in there as always, just helps with the caramelisation. Yeah. And I'm going to pop a lid on there now. So, the other flavours that we're going to pop in here, we're using fennel.
All right.
And we're using all parts of the fennel. So I have the bulb now, which I'm going to use as a vegetable, which I'll pop in here now in a second. Then I'm keeping the fronds, although the fronds on this, I actually have some in the garden. So I took some nice stuff from the garden this morning. And then I'm using the fennel seeds as well.
Never really used it. Licorice type flavour?
It is, but the way
normally it's there with.
Yeah, aniseedy, yeah. And it would go very nicely with fish, but this won't be overpowering. You won't even really taste that aniseed flavour. It'll just give it a nice lightness and a freshness. So just roughly grinding up my fennel seeds, and I'm going to pop those in now. Now, normally I'd be giving this a little bit longer. Obviously, we only have a few minutes today.
So you're going full on fennel here, seeds, roots.
Seeds, root, and herb in a few minutes.
Wow, okay.
And give this a little bit longer, as I say.
Yeah.
And then next up, we're going to have a little bit of saffron. And I love saffron. So the saffron, again, lightens things up, just gives a lovely freshness to things.
I can smell that fennel now.
Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah. And it's not that overpowering aniseedy, because we have all the other flavours going in, which are going to be lovely as well. So I have some garlic now, a couple of cloves of garlic.
Lovely.
Just put those in. And again, taking your time, a little bit slower at home.
And if you want to, Tara, could you chuck in carrots, leek, whatever you're fat?
You could, and I mean, sometimes I throw a few mushrooms in and I go old school, serve it with a vol au vent, gorgeous at Christmas time.
Can't beat it,
But for this, I'm going a little bit more elegant. I don't know if we're going to be allowed dinner parties, but it would be lovely for a dinner party because you can make it ahead of time. It's also great for the freezer. I actually made the one I have in the oven here in a class last night called Winter Warmers, and the whole idea for people was to get that nice kind of, you know, batch cooking.
Absolutely. Was that a drop of the good stuff? A
little drop of white wine I've popped in, and look how that kind of cleans off. So I'm deglazing the pan there. It kind of cleans it all off, brings that beautiful flavour up into the sauce. Next up, a little bit of flour just to thicken. Now, if you wanted to go old school fine dining, you could actually strain all of this at the end and then make a roux separately, but I don't really see a big benefit to it.
No. Once you cook out the flour here, it's all good.
Exactly. Giving this a minute or two now to cook out. Next up, back in with my chicken
and have you used a particular type of chicken?
Yes, actually, I meant to mention, thanks for bringing that up. So I have a little bit of chicken thigh here. So the thigh is just, what I love about using the thigh, obviously it has more flavour, but it's also a little bit tougher, so it takes longer to cook down. And as it's cooking down, it's just enriching that sauce the whole time. And you get that gorgeous flavour, exactly.
But you could, if you wanted, use chicken fillets, chicken breasts, whatever.
Oh yeah, totally. Just give it less time. If you were going to do the chicken breast, just leave it off in the bowl, only slightly browned off. And then only add it back into the sauce for the last kind of 5 to 10 minutes. Otherwise it goes dry and stringy. We've all had those curries at buffets and things, you know. So look, saffron water going in now. So I've just popped a few stamens of the saffron into some boiling water. And I've just let that infuse there for a few minutes.
And then it gives a gorgeous colour on the casserole as well.
And now a little bit of stock, okay?
Lovely.
So this is where now you let it just come up to a simmer. You can pop it in the oven, you can leave it on the hob, whatever suits you.
How would you cook it for, Tara?
Yeah, I try to give it at least half an hour because the chicken thighs don't need a whole lot longer than that. If you can give it up to 45 minutes or so.
But it's one of those ones as well, look, it's not going to do any harm, but sits there blipping away for an hour and a half.
And the chicken thighs won't go stringy the way a breast would.
It'll only get better. Like ourselves, Tara, it will improve with age.
With maturity, yes. So here is one.
Gorgeous.
This is the one I made last night. And I have some nice herbs going in. Oh yes, look, I have a bit of thyme there to go into this one. Pop that in, and a bay leaf. Grab these from the garden so you can just let those sit. And over here now, I have a little bit of creme fraiche to go into the sauce.
Oh yes,
and just stir that through. And next up then I have some green beans, and I just blanched these green beans last night. So pop those in, I just think it's nice to leave those till the last few minutes because they go a bit yellowy brown in the sauce otherwise.
I can see what you mean about it being a nice light kind of casserole.
Exactly. So it's not that really heavy kind of, we're all used to that chicken, mushroom, stodgy sauce, you know.
Yeah, gloopy.
Exactly,
almost,
exactly.
Okay.
And then I have some nice tarragon and fennel to go in and finish it off.
And tarragon's a nice bedfellow for chicken, isn't it?
Exactly, and it has a slightly aniseedy flavour as well.
God, you're going mad with the aniseed this morning, Tara. What's the crack?
Wait till you taste. Hopefully, I don't think you're going to... Like, I don't think you could actually sit there and go, oh, there's aniseed in this. You know what I mean? It's just a nice lightener to everything else. Just chop that up. And
that's your finishing touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Gorgeous.
And we can just stir that through. And you see the sauce is quite nice and loose there, which I like for this type of a thing because otherwise, and you know, if you can serve it up with a bit of rice or mashed potato or something, it soaks up that lovely sauce.
You can kind of serve it with anything, couldn't you?
Absolutely. I mean, even a vol au vent, as I said, would be a really nice kind of retro.
Throw back to the 70s.
Yeah,
the old
exactly.
chicken and mushroom vol au vent.
Exactly.
Lovely.
And
delicious.
Here we go now. Have a nice taste of this.
Chicken casserole for breakfast. Never did Elvis any harm, huh?
And let's pop a few...
Nice and simple too, as you say, one pot wonder, get it all in there, just let it cook away.
Exactly, exactly. And we did this in a class in the space of an hour online last night, along with 2 other dishes, you know, so...
Right, very good.
Have a taste of that, Simon.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you, Tara. Yes. And the sauce, as you say, it's nice and loose.
Yeah.
It's not stodgy.
Yeah, you know, you've seen those sauces on those white kind of casseroles before where the sauce nearly stands up on its own, and I didn't want that.
And you're right, you don't get that aniseedy buzz at all. There's a flavour there, but it's not slapping you in the face.
Exactly, exactly.
Gorgeous. I'm going to finish my breakfast now. Thank you, Tara.
You're welcome.
Cracking recipe as always. Full recipe details are up on the website, or you can check out Tara's website, East Coast Cookery School, for details of her cooking class timetable. Thank you, Tara. Right, coming up, she is the dance teacher who takes no messing. Star of the hit dance show Dance Moms, Abby Lee Miller is here next. See you in a minute. Thank you, Tara.